Oh. Not again. I have to stop waking up like this. And you must be my savior?
Now would you look at that? Our mysterious survivor has awoken.
Seems so. Who are you? Can you tell me what happened to me?
Jespar Matumiel Delveric. Jespar for short. And you, my friend, are in my very own campsite. And before you ask, yes, the bandits killed both of the apothecary. The only reason you're still alive is that the impact of the explosion threw you right into a thicket. Luckily enough, most of your injuries are only superficial, and I've already taken care of them. Your fever, though, is an entirely different story.
Oh. That's unfortunate. And my fever seems to be like a hot topic these days. Can you tell me anything about it?
Yep, quite a lot, actually. You're suffering from first-degree Arcanist's fever. I'm quite surprised that the old apothecarius didn't see that, to be honest. You're suddenly capable of doing things you previously knew only from the bard songs, right? And you're feeling unusually strong and dizzy at the same time? While drinking herbal potions leaves a, well, kind of a bitter feeling in your head?
Something like that. So then, this fever is why I can use magic all of a sudden? But still, what is that supposed to mean?
Yep, your magical talent has broken free inside you. I don't have any myself, but I've worked together with enough arcanists to know the signs. Simply put, what's happening is that your body can't cope with the magic. This isn't much of a problem at first, but if you don't do anything about it within the next couple of months, you'll find yourself running through the heartland naked, throwing fireballs at everything that moves. You'll lose your mind, to speak plain and all.
Oh, well that's great. Can I be treated? Any chance?
Yes, of course. Though someone who's magically gifted will always react differently to certain situations than someone who isn't. As I said, some herbs will always worsen your fever, as will magically contaminated areas.
Magically contaminated? Huh. So, what? What about seeing things before they happen? Like visions?
Visions?
Never mind. So, you were saying you could find someone that can treat me?
Are you sure? The Enderalian spider plague's known to cause visions in the infected, and if that's what you got in that old temple, you should start digging your grave. Because your body parts will start falling off in a few hours if you don't do something about it.
What? Are you serious? Then where can I find a cure?
Nowhere. Because that plague doesn't exist. I have no idea what kind of visions you're talking about, since the only visions I know of are those that come along with a good pipe of peaceweed. But your reaction shows that you were trying to keep something from me, and that's not a good idea if you want my help. You know what? Someone has to take care of your fever. And as it happens, I know someone who could. But in return, I want you to tell me everything. How did you get here? What did you do in that temple? And what exactly did you see in those visions? I can't put my finger on it, but there's something strange about you, and that makes me curious. So, healing for information. What do you say?
That doesn't look like I have much of a choice. Alright.
Then shoot. I'm eager to listen. I understand. My condolences for your loss. So that means you somehow survived this execution. And before you got washed ashore, you had this, this dream? In which you saw burnt bodies and a blinding light.
Yeah, but it wasn't a dream. It was more like a memory, like I was reliving something in the past. There's gotta be a phrase for it. But do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I hope so. So your magical outburst didn't happen slowly as it usually does, but all of a sudden after this near-death experience. And with it came these visions.
More or less, yes.
Interesting. I guess you know how absurd all this must sound, but somehow I believe you. Heck knows why, but I do. So, that means I'll introduce you to my employer. If anyone can help you, it's him. There is, however, one thing with which I could use a hand. The sooner we get that done, the sooner we can start our journey to Ark.
And if I decide not to join you on your little quest, what then?
That's your call, I suppose. My curiosity is satisfied. But without me accompanying you, the guards won't let you into the Sun Temple in Ark, and that's where you need to go in order to treat your fever. But as I said, no hard feelings on my side if you want to play the lone wolf.
Ark, huh? Never been. What's it like?
Ark? The capital of this country? Walls high as towers of iron-hard stone, rest alone in the mountains in granite enthroned, never decaying, the ages surveying, guarded by the Lord, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. If you plan on staying in this land, sooner or later you'll see it with your own eyes.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice. But before I say yes, who exactly are you working for?
Well, aren't you curious? I like that. I work for the Holy Order.
Like, the Holy Order? Group of soldiers that serve the god?
Yes, but as you might know, this is the realm of Malphas, the guardian of the Lightborn. And here, the Order basically reigns for him. It's both the spiritual and judicial center of this country, so believe me, you'll see for yourself soon enough.
Well, I guess that settles it. You got yourself a deal. Welcome me aboard.
Splendid. There are some things that need some explanation before we can get started, however. Where should I start? I take it you've noticed that in the past 2.5 years, this world has fallen into political chaos, right? Civil wars, usurpers everywhere, you name it. And even though Enderal isn't directly affected by these wars going on everywhere, there are strange things happening here too. Take the Woodsers, for example. There have been an unusual number of reports of wanderers being attacked by them in the open, which has never happened before. And the same goes for the Lost Ones, the living dead. Until 2 years ago, they were a rather rare magical phenomenon. But now every other corpse not properly cremated starts walking again as if it were the most natural thing to do. The strangest thing, however, is what they call the Red Madness.
You wouldn't think any of that would have to do with the rumors, right? About the Light Lord being dead?
Yeah, the rumors. I've heard them too. And I could indeed imagine that they're true. And that there's a connection, yes.
But you believe yourself that the Light Lords are dead? Or can be killed?
As I said, maybe. If you ask me, the Lightborn were never more than false gods anyway.
That's a bit of a blasphemous thought, don't you think? Here I thought. Your people were the most pious in the whole wide world.
Please, don't take me as an example. I've seen that a long life is only one of the things powerful magic can achieve. And this whole false deity theory isn't that new, after all. And seriously, let's say the Lightborn really are as mighty and omnipresent as the revelations say they are. Wouldn't they have the power to magically smite me here and now for my insolence? The Lightborn were just powerful kings. No more, no less. But that's just how I see it. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Well, still waiting to be struck down. I don't see anything happening.
I think we'll get along just fine. But we're digressing.
Alright. Now, this red madness you've been telling me about.
Yeah. It's some kind of mental illness that makes people lose their minds. Just a couple of weeks ago, for instance, there was a smith in Ark who slaughtered his entire family. He was drunk, but that doesn't explain why he screamed things like, "Fear the light," while he was doing it. Or a young noblewoman who killed herself by setting her family estate on fire for no apparent reason. Now, you might say that these kinds of things happen, but by now there have been more than a dozen of them. That and the fact that the possessed's eyes glow red shortly before and during their deed has made people call it the Red Madness. And just 3 days ago it happened again. Only this time it was a magister from within the Holy Order itself.
What's a magister?
Right, you're not from here. A magister's a kind of sage from the Holy Order, who teaches the young novices who are aspiring to become keepers or arcanists. Yarrow was his name, a man who had more than 60 winners on his back.
And what did he end up doing?
He killed 15 novices and himself. According to the only eyewitness to survive, he entered the teaching room as usual to give a lecture on alchemy. But instead, he gave a strange speech in which he explained that humanity is corrupt, Void, as he put it. And his eyes started glowing, he locked the door, and... well, he tore himself apart with a magical explosion. You can imagine the kind of uproar that caused.
So, how do you fit into all this? What use does the Holy Order have you running around in a makeshift camp out in the middle of nowhere? Well, lucky for me.
Well, I'm not exactly one for vows and austerity, so no, I'm no keeper. I guess you could say my specialty is recovering things that have been lost. Treasures, tomes, memories, and the like. And the Order hired me to do exactly that. They want to know how a highly intelligent man like Yarrow could fall victim to the Red Madness. And also if there's a discernible pattern to how this malady, or whatever it is, chooses its victims.
So you investigate things out of the ordinary, then? Well, you don't look like someone who spends all day looking at scripture, right?
True, but that's irrelevant. Yarrow grew up in a small village named Riverville, which isn't far from here. And according to some of the other wardens, he visited this area quite often after his partner's death. So it's quite possible we could find some clues around here. Shards of his past, if you like. I've already searched most of the area, but a second pair of eyes wouldn't hurt. What do you think?
Alright. You got it, boss. Where should I start?
Well, for starters, I need you to travel to Riverville and talk to an old man named Alfred. He was a childhood friend of Yarrow's, and he might be able to tell us something worthwhile. Secondly, a boy from the village told me that he saw Yarrow throw something into the water near a cliff to the east. Go there and see if you can find whatever it was he wanted to get rid of. I myself will have a look at the house Yarrow grew up in. Here, this is a map of the region. The blue dot over here is Yarrow's old house. And at the risk of sounding heartless, you should head back to the apothecary's camp. Maybe the bandits left behind some equipment. If there's nothing else, I'd say off we go. Let's shed some light on this Yarrow and his motivations. Meet me at his old house when you're ready. I'll be waiting there.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you in a bit.
Huh?
Let's see. That old sword from the temple. That could come out useful. He said all the way... blue dot. Well, that's a bit of a walk. If this indication is right. Alright. Nothing, I'm just talking to myself. I'll see you later. Oh, I've already forgot his name. Jespar, that's right. Should be this way. Poor bastards. Elf got shot by an arrow in the shadows, and the nice old man ended up being blown apart. I don't know if I'm lucky or not. Yeah, there they are. Oh, great. I'll kill you, son of a bitch. Yeah. It's a little revenge for the nice old man you killed. And his friend I didn't like that much. You telling me a bandit doesn't have more than a lockpick I can use and a few pennies? Nah, useless. I'll take your bow, though. It's pretty nice looking. Alright. Let's see what you have, old man. That potion I could use. Maybe the medallion could be useful. If I see the apothecary again, they'll know who I am. It's a sturdy sword. I prefer my antique. Ooh. Booze. Still pretty well filled, too. Lucky me. I don't see anything else more useful to me. Pretty nice looking country. Shame everything's gone to shit since I've gotten here. Alright, so I have two objectives. I need to find whatever that man, Yarrow, threw into the lake. Or any source of water, really. He said that was towards the south. The hell? God. These animals are so stupid. It's like they want them to just be killed by me. I can't believe them. Was that you? Did you just tell the gods to smite me? Ah, what's wrong with me? I'm talking to animals. I think ever since I came here, I've been going a little crazy. This place again? So, it's not a dream. I was just running down a hill. Am I somewhere in between? What's this? I remember. But are these my memories? Just intense focus. And using magic. What the hell's wrong with me? I need to do this quickly. Let me try looking at this one though. Yeah, more memories. It's like when I activate these, I'm remembering things from another life. We're back. But I know that was real. The second time I touched it, I felt like I've been wearing something heavy, and just my adrenaline spiked. I don't know, I have to do some more investigating on this. But first things first, I need to find whatever this old man threw in the water. More of this. I remember this plant. Gods. What a great land ruined by all this war, red madness. Hell, it's even starting to affect me. I feel like I'm going crazy. An interesting looking dock. I don't know if I want to go there. Blood. Something's happened here. And that's another troll. Has he spotted me? A door. Maybe I can hide in here.